Okay, so 3.2 notes, measures of variation. Our goal for today, just one, is to calculate measures of variation, range, variance, and standard deviation for data sets. So we have this little image at the top, and you can see these two different basketball teams. And you notice the first team, relatively similar in height, and then you got the second team where you got a little bit of variation there between the shortest and the tallest player. So, not making you do this, but I already calculated for you the mean, the median, and the mode, and they are the same for each data set. So the mean for each data set is 75. The median for each data set is 76 inches. And the mode for each data set is 76 inches. By looking at just these measures of center, we can't tell the difference between the data sets if we didn't have each individual observation of the data set in front of us. So the need arises for other single measures to summarize a data set. Measures of variation. So the first measure of variation you're familiar with, the range. So we've got the how-to, just subtract the smallest number from the largest number. The pro to using the range is the easiest to compute of all of the measures of center and measures of variation. The con is that it only takes into account two numbers in the whole data set, the top and the bottom. So we're going to just practice the range by calculating the range of the teams above. So team 1, we have the 78-inch tallest player minus the 72-inch shortest player for a range of 6 inches. Thank you. Be ready with your calculators if you need them. The range of the second team is the tallest, which is 84 inches, 7 foot, minus the shortest, the 67-inch, for a total of range 17 inches. Nice. I brought in an example straight out of Math Excel. This is 4 data sets, and a lot of times when we're calculating these measures of variation, we're comparing data sets. So we're going to take a look at each one and calculate the range. The range for the first data set is 9 minus 1, which is 8. Go ahead and calculate the other 3. Largest minus the smallest. So for data set 2, we're just going to do the largest minus the smallest. 9 minus 1 is 8. For data set 3, the largest and the smallest are the same number.
So that'd be no range or
0. The range is 0. And for data set 4, 10 minus 2, which is 8. So, again, 3 of the data sets have the same range, but you can look within those data sets and tell that they aren't the same numbers. So, we have a need for another measure of variation, the standard deviation. So you've got the steps right here. You can go ahead and cut these out. I would cut right along, look up here real quick, cut right along the rounded edges, because we're going to have to squeeze those into some spaces on the next page. As you're cutting, also pay attention. Just don't cut yourself. Data set 3. There's going to be a question that comes up in Math Excel. Data set 3, all the numbers are close together. They would have the smallest variation. Okay? We're going to look at the definition for standard deviation. on the next page, but I'm just giving you a heads up for that question on the Math Excel. Data set 2, we have numbers that are just 1s and 9s. The standard deviation is going to talk about how far the numbers are on average from the middle, the mean, okay? So the 1s and the 9s are going to be the farthest from the mean. So that's going to have the greatest, set 2 is going to have the greatest variation.